Laughing Brook. Poetry for sensual consciousness. Between a rock and a hard place, there the stream of life flows, all none the less. Flow, the river said. Flow, 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 the river said, as she goes and flows in her rocky riverbed. Never stops, never pauses, never hurries. Always time to sing her song. Linger in the moonlight. Dance under the sun. Find your pace, the river says, as she stretches through the hills, going this way, then another, ever falling into place. Always flowing, always going. Does she rest within the land? A grove of green, a sight be seen. As she draws me, I sit down. Funny how her gushes, rushes, loosen me where I was tight. How her wildness makes me calm. Luscious sparkles, cheerful whispers, slowly fall my clothes away. The sun so hot, the water icy, oh so wet as I come in. She taught me well, my can I feel it. There's no point in holding on. All there really is to know. Trust life and flow, flow, flow. The other day I was treating myself with a day off by the lake. I was hanging out there in the sunshine, taking nods, reading a bit, and looking out over the water where I could see birds fly, and sometimes people pass by on the far other side of that lake. As I awoke from one of my naps, I rubbed my eyes, and what I saw was, I couldn't quite believe what I saw. What I saw was a horse, a white horse, bathing in the lake, obviously having fun. And as I watched it, someone was splashing behind it. As it was far away, I couldn't see all the details, but I could see the water splash up, and I could see the horse jump up and down, enjoying and having fun with playing in the water. This spectacle really went on for the better part of an hour. And as I looked again and again, I could see a woman with a horse playing in the sunshine, playing in the water. They were running up the meadow which circumvents the lake and leisurely spending time there. What really struck me as I watched this and deeply touched me was the intimacy and joy that this woman and her horse had together. It was not like I'm owning a horse and I'm directing a horse. It's like I'm having a day out with my horse and being very much on eye level, being on a very tender and intimate level with each other. They gave each other space and enjoyed each other. And I sat there and I was deeply, deeply touched and really, really curious, kind of what person would be with a horse like that. I was really fascinated. In the fantastic translation of the New Testament by Eugene Peterson called The Message, in the Gospel of Matthew, he translates a word of Jesus where he uses this phrase of the unforced rhythm of grace, which speaks about the way God is with people, the way Jesus is with people, about the path, the way Jesus modeled for us. This unforced rhythm of grace is a line that, in a similar way, touched me, because it speaks about just being, just like this woman was with her horse, not pushing it to do anything, not forcing it into a certain behavior, to act in a certain way, like we so often do with ourselves, with others, and with the non-human world we live in. This unforced rhythm of grace allows me to be who I am in my own time, with what makes me truly me, what is the expression of who I really am. It allows me and invites me to be who I am. And that is part of what touched me deeply as I watched this woman. Eventually she left, and as I sat there, I kind of was overwhelmed by curiosity, kind of didn't want to miss the chance, so I grabbed my things, jumped on my bike, and biked as fast as I could around the lake, which was actually quite a distance. And eventually I went up where the woman went, and I didn't catch her and the horse. So I drove a little further, sat at another place I really love by a lake, and pondered with my beating heart about, what does this mean and what was I chasing? And as I calmed down, I realized, this was actually not about this woman. I mean, bless her for being who she is and what she brings into the world. But it was ultimately about who I am. And I realized it's about who I want to be, my sensual me, this part of me that wants to be sensual in the world. As the saying goes, it takes one to know one. And in that sense, watching the woman with her horse was connecting me with a side of myself, with something that is deeply a part of me. It was an external event that resonated with an internal trace of mine. A thing I did for the better part of 7 years was a medicine wheel initiation with Natalie Vickers. And to start into this medicine wheel initiation, you form an intent. And one of my intents I formed was, I want to live a full and sensual life. So this encounter touched something which not only brought this podcast into being, but which is really an essential part of who I want to be and how I want to live life. Because in the sensual, there lies hidden a true connection to what is around me. It's a connection to the essence and qualities of things around me rather than putting some concept and idea about it. It's about experiencing them immediately. And there's a quality of aliveness and connectedness and meaning in this kind of relating to the world and to people and situations you meet. So the unforced rhythm of grace that came into my life through this woman connected me with this heartfelt motivation of myself, of how I want to be in the world. And nature has this quality of getting us connected with this side of just being and experiencing what it is to just be. In this sense, it's like watching a sunset, watching a woman with her horse, or watching a river flow. Flow, the river said. Flow, 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 flow. Flow, 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 flow. Flow, flow, flow. The rivers, as she goes and flows in her rocky riverbed. Never stops, never pauses, never hurries. Always time to sing her song.
Flow, 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 flow. The river says. The river says. The river says. Flow, 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 flow. The river says. The river says.
Linger, in the moonlight. river says, as she stretches through the hills, going this way, then another, ever falling into place. Always flowing, always going. Does she rest within the land? A grove of green, a sight be seen. As she draws me, I sit down.
The river says, flow, 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 flow.
Funny how her gushes, rushes, loosen me where I was tight. How her wildness makes me calm. Luscious sparkles, cheerful whispers. Slowly fall my clothes away. The sun so hot, the water icy. Oh, so wet as I come. In. She taught me well. My, can I feel it? There's no point in holding on. All there really is to know. Trust life and flow, 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 flow. If you want to invite more flow into your own life, you might be interested in coming to a retreat I will offer together with Natalie Vickers in February 25 in Brazil. It's called Sacred Sensuality Retreat and is at a stunningly gorgeous location near Belo Horizonte, right at the edge of a national park. Sacred Sensuality Retreat is all about connecting with your senses to feel more alive in that unforced rhythm of grace. And that, as last year's participants told us, can be life-changing. You'll find a link in the show notes at laughingbrook.net. My name is Laughing Brook. I'm a poet, dancer, mystic, nature coach, and man whisperer. If you like what you've been hearing and would want to support me, please leave a positive rating and a comment on whichever platform you are listening to this podcast. This helps others to become aware of it. You can share it with friends, and most of all, please subscribe and come back for the next episode. Thanks for listening and keep on flowing. bumping and jumping with the stream of life.